Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So for my first video, I thought I would message some of my book besties and get them to pick my reads for the week. I feel like I've been slowly entering a reading slump over the past few days, and I really just want to avoid that. And so I thought, what better way to do that than get some of my book besties to recommend me some amazing books. These are all girls that I've been following on Bookstagram for the past year, and every book they recommend ends up being a 5-star or more, so I am super excited. I messaged my friend Taylor this morning. I'm absolutely obsessed with everything she creates, every book she recommends. I've been following her since the start of my Bookstagram journey, and I sent her this screenshot of my physical TBR. I also included a few books that I've got on my Kindle, just because they're new releases and I really want to get to them soon. This may be cheating because I kind of knew the book she was going to pick and was not surprised at all when she told me that she wanted me to read The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. She has been raving about this book for I think maybe 6 months. She read it as an ARC towards the start of the year and has already claimed it to be her favorite book of 2024. And so I'm really excited to dive in. I read You With a View by Jessica Joyce a few months ago and really loved the story, really loved her writing. And so I've been dying for this book to come out. Unfortunately, we don't get the paperback in Australia until I think October or November. I don't really know why. So I bought it on my Kindle because I'm impatient. That's just too long. Normally it's like a couple of weeks wait, but that's way too long. So anyway, I'll be starting this one tonight and hopefully it gets me out of my slump. So it's a bit later in the night now, and it is time for me to do all of my meal prepping and cooking and cleaning before the week starts tomorrow morning. And so I messaged my friend Anna to pick my next read for the week because I was really in the mood to listen to an audiobook while I did all of my prep. So I just messaged her and she has chosen Business Casual. Originally, my plan was to give you my updates as I read these books, give you my live reactions, but then I went and picked up Business Casual and finished it in under 24 hours. It was so freaking good, I just couldn't put it down. So my friend Anna chose me to read this book. It is the 4th book in the Love Light Farm series. I would recommend reading them all because you get to know all of the characters, and that sort of makes the 4th book a lot more enjoyable because you get to see the other couples. I think that's the way with a lot of interconnected series. Even if there's some books along the way you don't love as much, it's really worth like going on the journey. The first book I gave 4 stars, the second book I gave 3 stars, the third book I gave 5 stars, and this was an easy 5-star. It really felt like I was watching 2 people fall in love in a really beautiful and authentic way. Her writing is super poetic and she just made characters that felt insanely real to me. Like the fact that these people don't actually exist in the real world is baffling to me. Like what? They're not real. I just don't understand. Anyway, so thank you, Anna, for getting me to read Business Casual. I will not shut up about this book now. So I'm about 35% into The X-Files. It's a second chance romance. And the main characters just hugged, which sounds so insignificant. But then the main guy says, "You're not going to want this." She says, "What?" "In 30 seconds, you're not going to want this, and I can't pull away, so you're the one that has to." He's so down bad that he is like, "You need to stop hugging me because there is no way I'm going to be able to stop hugging you." Like, you're kidding. I'm obsessed. I generally don't want to put this down. I think I'm just going to keep going for as long as I'm able to before I pass out tonight. The writing is just so good. Like, it's definitely reminding me of Happy Place by Emily Henry, which is my favorite Emily Henry book. It is second chance. There's a wedding and a holiday, and they've got to like save the wedding. I really love Jessica Joyce's writing. She definitely reminds me of Emily Henry as well, where there's a lot more emotion to the writing and to the characters than just like a fun little rom-com. Probably just gonna binge this, to be honest. I've got like a few hours before I need to go to bed, and I've only got like 60% to go. So hopefully I'm gonna be able to get through it tonight, if not tomorrow morning, and I'll keep you updated. It's a bit later in the night now, and I really want to go on a long walk tomorrow. So I thought I would message my friend Morgan to get her to pick a new book for me, and then I will listen to that tomorrow on my walk as an audiobook. I love her. She's the cutest human being ever, and we have really similar book taste. So I sent her this screenshot of my TBR. You know the drill at this point. And she has chosen Throne of Glass. I'm a little nervous. I have read the first book. I read it in November last year, but I just didn't continue the series and start book 2, well, at all, but I didn't do it straight away, and then it just felt like too big of a task to take on and start the whole 8-book series, and I just got intimidated. I finished ACOTAR earlier this year and loved it, but I was just a little scared. So thank you, Morgan, for forcing me back into my Throne of Glass era. I am so excited. I'm gonna listen on audio just because it's a reread, so it works out perfectly with my walk tomorrow. I'll keep you guys updated. I probably won't have too many thoughts just because it is a reread, and I feel like everyone under the sun knows what Throne of Glass is about. It's also the first book in a series, so there's not a whole lot to say, but I will keep you updated regardless. I finished the X-Files last night, and I think I'm going to give it a 5-star. I was so obsessed. Like, if you like a man down bad, you're going to love Eli in this book. He's so down bad. It's genuinely insane. I was saying last night, they were hugging and he was like, you have to pull away because I can't. So if you love a man that is so down bad for his woman, then you should definitely read the X-Files. I just love Jessica Joyce's writing. It's very Emily Henry-esque. I was absolutely obsessed. I also really hardcore related to the main character, Georgia. She is a people pleaser to her absolute core, which I've just been my entire life. So it was really cool just like reading that on the page and finding another soul character. I feel like that's always a really fun experience. Fun might not be the right word. Emotional is probably more of a correct way to categorize that. I have also been listening to Throne of Glass throughout the week. I have about 5% left, so I'll probably finish that off today. A lot of people don't love the first few books, I think, and people more love the later end of the series. But I honestly really enjoyed it. I liked the writing, I liked the characters. I mean, it's hard to say a lot about it just because it is a series, but I had a great time. I'll probably go into book 2 relatively soon. So with that being said, I decided to message one more friend to get a final book for this video. I messaged my friend Charlotte this morning, and she has picked Reckless by Elsie Silver. I'm so freaking excited. I've been waiting for this book for the longest time. A lot of people that I have similar book taste to rave about this book all the time. It's book 4 in the Chestnut Spring series, and I've heard not great things about the first one, so it just took me a long time to get over that hump. I think I only read Flawless like a couple months ago, and then I read Heartless and Powerless, and so now I can finally read Reckless, and I'm so excited. I have heard amazing things about Theo in this book. I'll probably start that today, and I'll keep you updated. Tell me why I'm sitting here giggling like a little 12-year-old girl because he winked at her. Like, he just winked at her. Like, what the heck? If you love a golden retriever, down bad book boyfriend who's like kind of rugged but really soft on the inside, their dynamic is so good. He's so funny, and it's just so wholesome at the same time. Like, I'm giggling, then I'm wanting to cry. If you haven't read any Chestnut Springs book, the start of, is it every single chapter? They have text messages, like a little text chain between some of the characters, and Theo just goes, pick you up at 4, and Winter says, for what? He's like, dinner at the ranch, we can drive together. Like, he's just like get to the point kind of man. Like, I'm gonna pick you up at 4 for dinner, obviously. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm just so obsessed, like so obsessed. I've been feeling really slumpy over the past like couple months, and I don't feel like I've wanted to sit down and read a book like front to back and just not want to put it down, and that's what this book is doing to me. I knew this quote was coming just because I've seen it on TikTok, but it still hits so hard. If you want to skip forward a little bit, I'm gonna read a quote. It's not a spoiler, it's an accidental pregnancy trope book. What's your fucking tone while you're talking to the mother of my child? You're absolutely kidding. That just topped every like my wife moment for me. When you have a fake marriage trope and they're like, that's my wife, when like it's not. That topped that. Like the mother of my child. Maybe I love accidental pregnancy tropes. Should I be reading more of these? Like people seem to hate them, but I'm eating this up. I love this book. I just read that cover to cover, like front to back. I just sat here. It was so good. You need to read this book. That's one of the best romance books I think I've ever read. Like what? I don't even know how to process what I just experienced. This has got to be one of the best book boyfriends ever written. Like when you think about men written by a woman, that is Theo Silva. I'm just so down bad. I really liked Winter's story as well. I feel like the pacing of this book was really good and the plot side of things really added to the book as far as the accidental pregnancy that these characters experience definitely gives a bit more plot and depth to their story than rather just two of them falling in love. I am obsessed with forced proximity. I feel like it's the only way to write a romance book because then you actually get to watch them fall in love. And I really feel like I was just watching them fall in love. I feel like Winter was learning how to love. Like she's never been loved before. And this is the first time that someone has shown her pure and genuine love and attention. And it broke my heart. Like just watching her. Oh. Like this poor woman has never been loved a day in her life, that when he shows attention, she's just like second guessing it because she doesn't know how to appreciate it. And she's like, well, there must be an ulterior motive. But like, he just loves her. That's so sad. Anyway, read this freaking book, honestly. It's a few days later now, and I thought I would do a bit of a rapid fire recommendations based on the books I read in this video. First up, we have The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. If you love second chance romance and a down bad book boyfriend, you should definitely read this book. The banter was amazing, the writing was amazing, the setting was amazing. Easy 5 stars. Next up, we have Business Casual by B.K. Borison. This book, I still think about it every day, and I cannot express enough how much I love this book. It is, I think, a very genuine representation of what it means to fall in love. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I feel like it's really easy to love the 3rd or 4th book in an interconnected series because the found family at that point is really strong. You know all the characters, you know the setting, you can jump right in and you're really excited for their book because you've learned about these characters earlier on in the series. And that was definitely the case with Business Casual. I also am not the biggest fan of one night stand tropes, and that's kind of how their connection starts. But I loved it anyway, like absolutely obsessed with this book regardless of that. And I think that says a lot. Like when a book can take tropes that you don't love and turn it into an easy 5-star read that you would recommend to everyone, then you know it's a good book. Easy 5 stars. Next up, I read Throne of Glass. This is a reread. I read this late last year, but didn't continue the series straight away just because I was intimidated a little bit. So I wanted to reread before I got into the rest of the series, and now I guess I'm committing to that. I don't know if I was planning to do it this soon, but when Morgan picked it, I was like, it's a sign. So I really enjoyed my reread, honestly. I did it on audio, but I really love the world, I love the characters, and I love her writing. I know a lot of people maybe prefer the later books in the series. I can't speak to that because I haven't got to them, but I honestly really enjoyed my time with this. I feel like I don't have a whole lot more to say just because it is an 8-book series and this is obviously an introduction book to some of the main characters, but I am really excited to continue and hold myself accountable to read them in very close succession. And then we finished with Reckless. I'm so down bad for this book. I only recently finished it. I read it cover to cover, 10 out of 10, thinking about the fact that Theo Silva isn't real and is a fictional man written by a woman sends me into a mental spiral multiple times a day. I am so glad I did this video. I got 3 5-star reads and 1 4-star read. If you take away anything from this video, please just take away that your best friends know you so well. If you are in a slump, if you don't know what to read, message your friends because they genuinely know you the best. They know your book taste. I couldn't be more grateful for friends that know me so well, and you might find some new favorite reads. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.